Okay, does this work? I don't know how. Here we go. Okay, Dr. Salman Safri, Member of the Parliament of Pakistan. I remember our participants in this conversation that we have 6 minutes each. Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, of course, I would like to thank the Inter-Parliamentary Coalition for Global Ethics and the President, Mr. Beckerman, for inviting me here on this prestigious occasion and a very important topic to speak. I would like to send you all greetings from my beloved and resilient country, Pakistan. First of all, it is very important to note that violent extremism greatly depends on its local dynamics. For example, violent extremism in any part of Pakistan would be very different from any part of USA. And it might look the same as far as the outcome is concerned, but drivers, push-pull factors, and society's position with regard to the proposed goal can be very different. Violent extremism can be defined as the use of violence to attain social, political, and cultural goals that border on the extreme of the society's ideological makeup. Coming back to the main topic, which is the Parliament's role in combating violent extremism, there is no doubt, not even an iota of doubt, that Parliament can and should play their role in combating violent extremism and are the main body in any country. But it is also a fact that Parliament is the most important. It is also a fact that parliaments cannot work in isolation. The case in so many countries is the same, that parliaments try to play roles on individual basis, and that never ends in positive results. What the need is that the parliament should form cross-sectional consultative collaborations with media persons, think tanks, political parties which are not present in the parliament, the academics, the activists, religious scholars, and civil society. Only an unanimous and more holistic and representative counter-violent extremism policy can bring real change in terms of extremism. The second point that I would like to emphasize today is on promoting the culture of peace. When we say culture of peace, it is necessary to enable an environment that ensures and sustains and produces a peaceful society. But peace should not end at borders. We must be responsible for peace beyond borders as well. In a globalized culture, our actions often affect people of other countries, and there is a need for more altruistic attitude when it comes to parliaments. Care for your enemies, care for your people on the opposing sides of the conflicts as well. Care for everyone. For peace to prevail, conflicts need to be resolved, and in an increasingly collaborative world wherein policies, cultures impact each other, we need to play an important role in mediating international conflicts. For that, directly curtails violent extremism. The third point that I would like to emphasize on, and it is something that coming from a country which has been facing extremism for a long time, which has been and being personally affected by the results of extremism, I can only say that the local factors like politics, religious doctrines, and social norms are paramount when it comes to local legislation. For example, if I talk about my country, Pakistan, we need to stress on research investigating local factors in collaboration with local academics, law enforcement agencies, as I said in the initial remarks. Legislation should be promoted world over in simpler forms. If I just give you one example of Pakistan society, let me just quote the example of the blasphemy law in Pakistan. Pakistan is not ready to annul the blasphemy law. The society is not ready. The problem, of course, is the education, the democratic values. But this can only be done by smaller steps that can tackle such issues. And I would just like to also emphasize on the fact that the UN announced International Decade for Culture of Peace and Non-Violence for the Children of the World from 2001 and 2010. This is the time when my country, Pakistan, saw unprecedented violence resulting in death of 80,000 citizens, including children, thousands of children. So Pakistan is a society in transition, recovering from trauma. Such contours will affect its makeup, and the international community needs to manage its expectations from countries suffering from violent internal conflicts. When we sit on high forums like these, high-level discussion like these, we need to understand a lot of things, like I mentioned in my points. In the end, I would just like to say that the UN adopted a UNSC resolution on youth, peace and security, dealing with countering violent extremism, and we should stress upon the importance of using this resolution as well when we are talking about the manifestation of national level policies. I would also like to say in the end that it is very important for the international, and I will emphasize on this point, that it is very important for the international community to be more efficient in tackling funding to extremist movements. Without effective international laws to prevent, curtail or mitigate such funding channels, it would be very hard to counter extremist movements. I have also proposed in my personal capacity in my country for a parliamentary caucus for Pakistani MPs to work on this and more generally on the counter-violent extremism policies. I would request the UN to support us not financially but by tactically and providing us tactical and educational facilitation and education in this regard. Finally, I would also propose more exchanges between MPs of different countries, especially within the MENA region and the South Asian, to develop synergies in these objectives. I always believe that channels of communications need to be open and facilitated. At the very end, coming from a country which is a victim and fighting on the forefront of violence extremism and being on a constant threat by the extremists, as my dear colleague here and esteemed moderator said in the beginning, for our human family, I would just like to say, end with Sadi's words, Adam's sons are body, limbs to say, for they are created of the same clay. Should one organ be troubled by pain, others would suffer severe strain. Though careless of people's suffering, deserve not the same human being. Thank you.